Kia ora everyone, thank you so much for coming. It's lovely, it's my pleasure to welcome you on to the Science and Tech Virtual Expo, and we're delighted to have you here. So, and to all students, thank you very much for coming as well. Lovely to have you here. I'm Lucy from the Career Development Centre, and I will introduce you to Florence from Planit Software Testing, and then actually I might leave Florence to introduce the rest of your team if you don't mind. But just before we do that, I just wanted to let you all know that we are recording this session, and that's because we will be putting it on Career Hub for 2 weeks so that the students who can't attend today will be able to access it. So I hope that's okay with all of you. And I think, yeah, over to you, Florence. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Lucy, for having us on your sessions, and the students for joining and listening in on our presentation for this afternoon. So my name is Florence, and I'm coming from Planit Software Testing from the HR space. With me, I have a few other speakers as well on the panel. Well, I'll start off with the panel as such. So I've got Kate Ellie, who's our operations manager. She won't talk, but she's here for questions, you know, when we get to them at the end, or if you want to ask questions in the chat box, please do so. We're more than happy to answer those. And I've got Jaron Marsh, who's from our Wellington office. He's our CRM, or Customer Relationship Manager. He's from quite a tech background as well, so he knows quite a lot of stuff. So please, if you have tech questions, fire them away. After I speak, I will hand it over to Christine, who will talk a little bit about testing and what that involves. And after Christine will be Sehan, who's joined us also as a graduate and is now, you know, been with us for some time. He will talk about like your career experience at Planit. And lastly, V will join us. She's a most recent graduate, so she'll take you through the graduate kind of experience. Right, and then I'll just sort of come back at the end and show you, you know, a little bit of details where you can keep following us, your interest if you want to join us, if you're a graduate and you want to go into IT space. I'll share those as well, and then we'll, you know, talk about questions again at the end. So yeah, so thank you. I will share my screen. Just one moment. Can everyone see my screen? Yep, cool.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. All right, cool. So I'll get this session started. So I'll just talk a little bit about Planit, what we do. Planit is an industry leader in software testing and quality. Planit has a global footprint, and we have offices throughout Australia, New Zealand, UK, and India. In New Zealand, we have offices in pretty much all the main cities like Auckland, Wellington, Hamilton, and Christchurch. And our staff is probably just under 300 people in New Zealand. Right, so some of our offerings. So these are just our key pillars. First of all, quality assurance services. So because our business is consultancies, our consultants are the ones that go out and work on projects on client sites. Most of the time, they actually go on site and base themselves there for however long the project may be, like 6 months, 2 weeks, or even years it takes. And also, if they have the capacity, they can remote in as well. The other part of our business is training. So we offer quite a lot of training to external clients. And also we have the training available to our staff as well. So Planit is recognized as a world leader in providing training and software testing, agile and safe. Another part of it is on-demand solutions. We provide a range of fully packed solutions that help our clients embed speed and quality in their delivery. So here you'll just see a couple of, I guess, specialities. So in the testing industry, you know, you go into functional testing, you go into automation, performance, security, digital, agile, DevOps, just to mention a few. And you know, obviously some consultants, they specialize in security or performance or automation. So yeah, it just gives you a rough idea on what we offer as services. Here you'll see a range of what you call logos of clients that we, you know, they're our clients, most of them in Australia and New Zealand. So Planit has spread its wings in pretty much every industry. And we back ourselves with our values. This is what makes our people who we are and how we share our business with other people. We base our values on quality, passion, collaboration, and innovation. So next I'm going to introduce Christine, who's going to talk about what testing is. All right, so Christine, I'll hand over the slide to you.
Thanks, Flo. Okay, why testing? Now, some of you might be wondering why software testing. Well, software testing is a discipline that is just as important as development. It is essential in a way that it guarantees quality of a product by ensuring all requirements are met and no unexpected problems should occur. If these goals are met, then the software tester creates confidence within the team that everyone is accountable for the quality of work that they do. And if the team is able to deliver great work, then the team will eventually gain the confidence of the customers and stakeholders. Why testing is an essential part of the development team. Below is an example of a simple login page. Specifications and development for this functionality are developed by humans. Therefore, it is possible to have errors. This is where testing comes in. That is, when this login functionality is tested properly, we can assure to our customers, in this case, the users, that their data is safe and secure. Data which can be in the form of personal information or money. Testing activities. These are a few of the activities done by a software tester within a development team. As you can see, testing is not exclusive in verifying a functionality done by a developer. A software tester also must review the documents provided by the business to ensure that specifications are not ambiguous and everyone in the team should be able to understand it. Next are the actual executions of the tests, which involves verifications of new functionalities that were introduced into the code and resolved issues. And this is also the time when new issues are found and are raised to the team. Lastly, test progress and any roadblocks encountered during testing are reported so that the team can discuss solutions and implement improvements. Key skills. The qualities that you see here on the slide are the key skills that are expected for any profession. These skills enable the software tester to be pragmatic to his and her tasks and will help the team to reach their goals. If you also have noticed, none of the key skills here require any experience in programming or an IT-related course. The reason for this is that it is rare for software delivery teams to expect testers to understand code, but rather to interpret how business requirements are interpreted into logic and into code.
Right, thank you, Christine. Next, I will hand it over to Sehan, who's going to talk about your career at Planit. Thank you, Sehan.
Thanks, Flo. So the question is, why should you choose Planit? Well, here is a short list of some of the many reasons to join Planit. Staff benefits. Planit provides an array of benefits to meet the diverse needs of our employees, ranging from health and lifestyle to training and certifications. Support. Our employees enjoy a positive work-life balance, ongoing mentoring, and personal support. Planit is here to help you build your skills and confidence with monthly workshops and buddy programs. Training. As a certified training provider, we support our employees with a large catalog of available courses and certifications, ensuring they stay ahead of the pack. Social activities. We're an open and friendly workplace with regular social events and branch conferences. Planit has taken part in the past in events such as Tough Mudder and Round the Bays, and will help in reimbursing a chunk of the event fees. Career progression. We have kickstarted the careers of over 400 aspiring software testers, gaining training and full-time employment via our graduate and bootcamp programs. Culture. With over 1,000 of the highest quality professionals in the industry, all under one company, our culture is quality. We believe that in order to attract and retain the best, we give our staff the best. So let's dive into some of the benefits our staff receive, which include the following: Planit perks, health insurance, life insurance, mobility and global movement, supernova awards, paid overtime, and Planit Academy, just to name a few. So let's talk about mobility for a bit more. As an international business, Planit receives new requirements, from both new and existing clients frequently. In order to fulfill these requirements, we often draw on the excellent and diverse talent pool across the company. Planit understands that there are a lot of people who desire to work in different cities and countries and experience different environments. As such, the Mobility and Global Movement Program marries our operational needs to our clients with our employees' desires for different experiences. Short-term and long-term. So two of the avenues of the mobility program are short-term and long-term secondments. For those who are unfamiliar with the term secondment, a secondment is a temporary transfer of an employee to another location. Short-term, typically less than 6 months, and long-term, typically around 1 year, offer you the opportunity to live in and experience a different area and culture, as well as expose yourself to different technologies, work environments, and projects, with travel and accommodation expenses paid for by the company. And lastly, permanent transfers. Similarly, permanent transfers are available with a number of graduates making use of this pathway in order to expand their horizons, both personally and professionally, sometimes after enriching secondments first. However, this is not the only route. Now let's talk a bit about your career as a Planit tester. So as you can see, this is the progression ladder, and the successful candidate will start off as an analyst following the graduate selection. The analyst is an entry-level position that focuses heavily on test execution. The next stage up is engineer, both level 1 and level 2. They focus on full lifecycle testing, which incorporates planning, designing, and executing tests. The next stage is consultants, both level 1 and level 2. Consultants manage large teams, making maximum use of resources, and plan, control, track, and implement testing processes. The next stage is senior consultant. Senior consultants develop and lead multiple teams and projects, preparing realistic and achievable project plans and strategies. Finally, principal consultants. They lead complex projects, defining and implementing test strategies, and playing a pivotal role in client and staff support and development. So a bit about me. So for me, my personal career trajectory has taken me from coming in through the graduate program as an analyst to engineer level 1 in the last 4 years. During this time, I have made use of the mobility program and worked in places such as Tauranga for Zespri, Hamilton for Fonterra, as well as working in the UK for the last 2 years, including working at Specsavers while I was there. In particular, working in the UK was a really rewarding experience, as I was able to not only experience a different culture and environment and get out of New Zealand and experience something new, but also work on large-scale international projects with people across the world. Furthermore, by basing myself out of the UK for the last 2 years, I was able to travel to many different places, including Morocco, Italy, Spain, Denmark, and Sweden. And these experiences allowed me to develop both personally and professionally.
Oh, thank you so much, Tehan, for sharing your story. That was awesome. So now, next up, I'm going to introduce you to V, who will talk about the grad experience. Thank you, V.
Thanks, Flo. So let's talk a little bit about the graduate program process. So firstly, we've got a video interview that will happen, and then the face-to-face interviews will happen. Thirdly, a selection week, and the successful grads will go into a 1-month training. So the selection week is one of the main parts of the process. Yes, it's 5 days, but don't worry, morning teas, afternoon teas, and great lunches will be provided for you. During these 5 days, you'll learn a little bit about your role as a tester, other roles and responsibilities, and this process and techniques, and you'll be applying these into your group activities as well. Also, you will get to meet some of the past grads and employees like the consultants, the manager, the HR, and you get to ask questions about the process.
You've gone on mute.
Does it work now?
Yep, that's better.
Yep.
Sorry about that. And so the next main part of this process is the 1-month training. So during this 1 month, you'll get an introduction to Planit in a deeper level, and you'll gain skills such as workplace survival skills, test case designing, a little bit on automation, introducing you to test tools, and agile essentials, where that's one of the main things you will learn, as most of the clients will be using agile, and you'll be getting your first certification as well. And to give you a little bit of a timeline and a summary of the process, we open and close our applications in September, and the video interviews will happen in October. The successful applicants will go into a face-to-face interview that will also happen in October. After all the exams are done, the selection week will happen. We normally select about 12 grads for this. From the 12, we select about 6 to 8 grads, and they will be presented with a full-time permanent job offer, and they will go through the 1-month training in January. And the most exciting part, where you go to your first client, happens in February, sorry.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fee. So that was Fee just talking about the process in which you will, go through if you were to have interest in our graduate program and join Planit. Next up is a video from graduates who've actually started with Planit and have gone out to client site and are going to talk about it. So I will sort the right things that I need to do in order to play it. So just one moment. Here we go. Cool.
Hi, Sivi here. I'm from the first intake of graduates at Planit Software Testing. Now I'm going to go and talk to other grads about how Planit helped them. Come with me. So Jay, tell us about the bootcamp selection process.
Bootcamp is 1 week of intense training and you learn about testing fundamentals. I didn't know anything about testing until I came to Planit. I met with the future graduate candidates and did some group activities that was really fun and slightly competitive. It was challenging, but it was made up by the good food provided during lunch.
So what happened once you got into the graduate program?
After being selected, we were provided with a further month of training, which was really enjoyable and gave us the opportunity to get to know others more. We quickly became a tight-knit group as we were all in the same boat. We learned a lot in the training, such as software testing skills and techniques, which prepared us for the clients.
Now Justine, I believe you're currently working with a client. How are you finding it?
The first few weeks on client sites are full of excitement as you get to put what you've learnt into practice. You get to meet new people in the industry and learn about the different work cultures as well. Throughout this process, you also get a lot of support from other Planit staff on site and our assigned buddies through the Planit Buddy program.
So Patrick, after 6 months into the graduate program, what are the possibilities for career development?
There are many different testing paths that you can take. These are known as portfolios, and once joined, they help with our development in that particular area. However, not all testers need to be technical. You can choose a portfolio such as training.
I was approached with the idea of trying out performance testing, given my background and what I had studied at university, and so I joined the performance portfolio. Right now I'm trying out both functional and non-functional testing. Planit also gives us the opportunity to travel with the Global Mobility Program. Some of our fellow graduate testers are now in Australia getting their overseas experience.
So that's it from us graduates. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you here.
Bye!
Bye.
Sorry guys, so I just got to untick a couple of boxes to get the video stopped.
That was a lovely video. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's always great to hear you know, from the horse's mouth, as it were. So yeah, that was excellent. Thank you. And thanks, Kate, for making it available to watch again. That's great too.
No problem. I think we've got a couple more slides if we flow, and then we'll...
Yeah, yes, a couple more, just one moment. So yeah, we've talked quite a lot about, you know, graduates who've joined Planit. It's always been a very successful journey for them. And this slide, just to give you an indication to where to register your interest. Should you want to do that, you can head over to our website and put in your email address. And that just gives you any updates that will come through for our advertisements for when grad programs kick off. And also, I think within the university portals, Next Step is another place that we put quite a lot of information as well for the graduate program. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of brought us to the end of it, but you know, we're here to answer any questions.
So we do have a question. So we've got a question from Akshay. So he's asked, so what is the eligibility criteria for joining the program? So basically, you need to have graduated within the last 12 months. It can actually be any degree. A lot of people sort of get the impression that it should only be sort of a technical or information science or computer science type degree, but a tester is more about the mindset than having technical skills. People who come out of technical degrees like computer science may head more into a technical type career, so more in the automation testing or performance testing sort of route, or maybe security testing. But we also have functional testers, and it's more about your soft skills. It's about the way that you think and your mindset. So we're looking for people with good communication skills, because they go and all of our consultants go and work on our client sites. So they're working with a lot of different stakeholders, with business analysts, developers, project managers, and lots of different people. So lots of collaboration and communication goes on within each of those clients. So it's really about, just the willingness to want to keep learning more. There's so many different areas. Testing's a really varied career. So, you can head off into different paths, so it's really about just wanting to get stuck in and just keep learning and growing. So any career is fine. Any degree is fine. And just having graduated in the last 12 months. The eligibility criteria. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that does answer my question. Thank you.
Good. Cool. So the process is a fairly kind of rigorous process. To give you a little bit of an idea, we normally have around maybe 150 to 200 applicants that go through the video questions first. So we just, there's a set of questions, you answer them via video and submit them with your CV. We go through those and we get that down to around probably 35 to come to a face-to-face interview. So pretty short, 5-10 minutes. We're not asking you testing questions. We don't expect you to know testing. We just want to understand a little bit about how your mind works, make sure that your communication skills are good. And we look to take that 35 down to the 12 for selection week. So during that week, there is a lot that happens. It's a really good week to make sure that, not only are you right for Planit, is your, do you see it as a career? Is it what you want? So it's a really good week for both sides to work out, are you good for Planit, but also is it what you want? So it gives you a good idea around what testing is. You learn a lot about the company, you meet a lot of the people, and generally it's a really good fun, as well as having an exam at the end of it and a bit of pressure around will you get a job offer. From there, as V mentioned, normally we take around between 6 and 8, but it really depends on the city. So often 6 to 8 in Auckland, but we might take maybe a Wellington intake as well, and we might only take 4 to 6 in Wellington. So it really depends on what our needs are at the time, as well as the city, the location, and also are the people right. We're not going to make offers to 8 people if they're not the right people. And then there's a little bit of a gap, and then you join and have that 4 weeks of training, loads and loads of support, and then going out onto a client site with lots of support and continually learning and growing with the company. The grad program's 2 years in total, but we want people to stay with us after that. That's not the end of it. We hope that you see a career with Planit and you continue to grow with us up that career plan that Seihan mentioned. Any other questions?
Anyone else?
We've also got Jaron here. Jaron's one of our client relationship managers in Wellington. And Jaron, do you want to talk a little bit about your career with Planit and sort of what you're doing now?
Yeah, absolutely can do. So I am a client relationship manager. So that means I deal with our clients. I sort of look after things both from a client aspect in terms of their testing needs and their testing requirements and how Planit can actually assist with that, but also from a Planit perspective, supporting our staff on site as well and being that point of contact if there are any issues, either personally for themselves and their work situation or any work issues and things like that. Previously to being a client relationship manager, I was working in the performance testing space. So I was heading that up for New Zealand. So I've done a lot in the technical space over the years. And I think, as Kate mentioned, just touching on that as well, having worked in the technical space, the key skills aren't actually the person who knows the most languages, the person who can understand programming. yeah, it's actually the key people that can have a conversation with our clients and work with them face to face, who can understand what actually needs to be done and be adaptable and flexible. So, you know, don't feel like you have to fit a certain mold within the technical side of things as well. So I know there's a lot of talk in terms of being technical and this and that, but Planit will actually support you through that as well. So yeah, we'll support your learning into the sort of more technical roles if that's what you're interested in. And I've had a very varied range of clients and experiences with Planit from different industries. I've traveled a bit as well, like say how I mentioned, done a couple of secondments within New Zealand and internationally as well. So it's great opportunities within Planit all over the place.
Cool, thanks, Jaron. So another question from Lakshay. So you're finishing your study in November this year. What's the due date for signing up for this? So around September, so we often do a graduate program 2 a year, one in July and one intake in January. This year we're not going to be doing the July one just due to the COVID situation, but we are looking to do one in January. So around September is when we will be looking to advertise the grad program that will start in January. So keep an eye on our website and through the Next Steps portal as well. Register your details on the Planit website, and you'll actually get emails when that actually comes up. So on this, yeah, that site there. So around September, so even if you're still studying, that's okay, but you will need to be able to attend the selection week. So the selection week happens in November. Generally, most people have finished their exams by then, so I think it's late November. We try and arrange it so that, you know, people who are finishing their studies this year will have already finished before we go through that process. And yeah, so if you get through the first couple of phases, so the video interview and then the face-to-face interview, and if someone's in a different city for the face-to-face, we can do it via Skype as well. Don't feel that, you know, you have to fly to Auckland or Wellington if you are based in Dunedin. Yeah, so that as long as you can attend that week, then finishing up in November will be fine. So keep an eye on the registrations and our website, and those dates we can talk through at the time. We don't have the exact dates right now, unfortunately.
Cool, thank you for that.
No problem.
Great.
Okay, anything else, Lucy, is there anything else you think you would like to know, or?
No, just that, yeah, I'm, you know, keen to keep in touch with you guys regarding your application dates, and obviously we'll help promote them once your program is open. Yeah, we work closely with Next Step as well, so yeah, that's kind of it from me. And for this, you know, we at the CDC, obviously we're here to help you with your CVs and your cover letters, and we can help with interview skills. We can help with video interviewing tips as well. So yeah, just, you know, come and see us when you're ready, but when you're ready to apply, and we can help you make sure that your application is tip top.
Good. We look forward to seeing you all.
Yeah, God, the boot camp sounds such fun. Yeah.
It's really good to have a couple of people who've been through it, actually, Seihan and V.
Yeah.
And get their stories. Yeah. So V, do you want to talk a little bit about what your experience so far has been?
Sure. So my first client was an insurance company called NIB. Most of you might know. Honestly, I don't come from an IT background either, so I was scared, but I applied and I got through. And during that 1 month, I learned a lot because I don't come from I come from a non-IT background. It was new to me, but I learned a lot, and I got a lot of support from my members of the group, and also other employees that was around there. And when I went to client side, we had 2 other grads who was already working on the project, and they pretty much taught us everything. Like, this is how you do things, this is how agile works, this is how you do stand out, this is how the project works. It was like really supportive, and I got a lot of support from the client and our grads and employees. It was really good, and I learned a lot doing the project. It was a web-based application where I had to check like the one that Christine was also talking about. I had to make sure the requirements are met for this application. Check if this is right, or if it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, or if it's doing something it shouldn't be doing. It was a lot, but it was pretty exciting, and it was very it was cool knowing like I didn't have the background, but I can do this. And then I went on to a bigger project at ASB where I learned a lot more things, and I had a senior with me, so she taught me a lot about testing, and I had a test manager at the first client who taught me a lot about non-testing stuff as well, how to actually do things other than testing. This is how you do a lot of things. I can't even remember most of the stuff, but I remember sitting down listening to him because he's an experienced person, and he was telling me like, this is how you should do, this is the mentality you should have. So it was really nice. It was very supportive, and I'm loving it. So yeah.
So what were you testing at ASB predominantly?
They were developing this. It was an application where they wanted to process their own checks in-house. So they had a third party, and they wanted to move everything into in-house and process their checks. So I had to, it wasn't just testing the application where they're processing it, but I had to test the other systems, so end-to-end process as well, and how the systems integrate, and if the developed application is doing what it's supposed to be doing, things like that.
Yeah. So even without coming through a technical background, you learned how to look at those areas and all those integrating parts, and
yeah.
And that along the way.
And like the developers and stuff, not just Planit employees, but like the clients and the developers help you out a lot as well. So you learn from them as well. So it helps.
Thanks, V.
V, can I ask you what your degree, your degree, why you chose to go into Planit?
I did applied mathematics, so totally unrelated. But when I went to the career fair at AUT, they told me, you don't need to know coding. You don't need to be from an IT background. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good. I like to know what it is about. I like to know what testing is about. That's the only reason I applied.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Oh, well.
Yeah, so yeah, the bootcamp also sounds really supportive and like a fun learning experience. So yeah, I'm looking forward to signing up and maybe joining the bootcamp program.
Excellent. So just some recommendations. When you do your video interview, be really upbeat and positive. And we're looking for people that are, you know, got some life in them. And, you know, our grad programs, normally we get a group of people who we know are going to get on really well as a group. They spend their first 4 weeks together. They get to know each other pretty well in the selection week as well. But, you know, we've got our grad program started, hang on, I'm actually going to have to look up my notes here, 2014. So it's been going for, you know, 6 years now, and we've had 13 different grad programs, which has been fantastic. And we've still got employees from our very first grad program who are with us and are now at the consultant level. So, you know, they've climbed with us. They've quite a lot of them have been over to the UK, like Seyhan. They've, you know, they really do see it as a career. And those first groups, though, they socialise with each other all the time because they become so close-knit and really good friends. So, yeah, we're looking for young, well, you know, just energetic people who get on well with each other, that sort of fit Planit culture as well. And, yeah, just willing to learn and wanting to, yeah, strive for Excellence, really. Cool.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any other questions or?
No? Okay, well then it's my turn to say thank you so much to everybody from Planit for coming. It's lovely to meet you all and hear all your stories. So exciting to hear people's different career journeys. I'm just, I'm in awe really, and slightly jealous, Sehan, that you got to spend time in Italy because that is my favourite country in the world. Thank you to the students for coming. Lovely to know that you're here. And as I say, we're here to help when it does come time to register your interest or to apply, to come and talk to us. And yeah, again, kia ora, thank you very much to all of you for being here today.
Thank you.
Leslie.
Yep.
Bye.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was really, really good. I enjoyed the presentation today, and I'm really looking forward to going with this program. Like, I'll sign up around that time. And
Wonderful.
yeah, thank you. Thank
Wonderful.
you, everyone.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was lovely. Thank you so much, Florence. That was just awesome. I'm delighted.
No worries. No worries. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah. One fine day we'll drag you down to Dunedin.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'll
That'll
see
be
you.
awesome. Okay.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.